It's the end of the Pyro season, but don't fret. Next week, Team Rhythm's having our year-end bash where we reflect on some of our favorite episodes, interviews, and memories from 2024. And we want to celebrate that with you. Next Tuesday, December 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be hosting and tracking our first ever Discord live episode where you can come hang out, listen to the show being tracked, chat with other Pyros, and be on the show. That's right. We want to talk to you live on the show about your favorite Rhythm Pyro 2024 moments, episodes, and most importantly, ideas for the future. So keep an eye out for the calendar event posting inside the Rhythm Pyro Discord. This is a Discord community exclusive event, so you have to be a member of our Discord server. Go join it. It's free. There's links in the description of this episode as well as on our Facebook page. AJ, Jamie, and I are so very much looking forward to having you as part of the show to help us close out 2024 with a bang. So we'll see you next week in the Discord. Facetious.
Facetious.
Being facetious.
More specific.
I'm gonna channel my inner.
Fascistically
I'm gonna channel my inner audio producer here, and I'm just gonna record this, even though this is probably stuff that's gonna get cut out because I regret it way more when it's not recorded.
Wish I had that bite.
Yep, wish I had that back. All right.
Oh wait, we're recording.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing ever gets tired on this show. Sarcasm.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so all right, if the answer is yes, then that's fine. Give me like 3 minutes here just so I can port over my.
I'm not sure how to answer it anymore because apparently yes wasn't a good answer.
Which that's a lot better than what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say I forgot the question.
Why are you being mean to me?
What was that thing we used to do? Oh, what was it?
Don't AJ me.
Forgot the name of that class. I don't know. You probably I forgot the name of it. But it's something you did in school where you had to tell a story, and then during the story,
playtime.
People at the end had to guess if it was a true story or a fake story.
I bet you were good at that.
What school did you go to?
What does that mean?
Study hall?
No, it wasn't study hall. It's oral comp. That's what it was. Oral comp.
Didn't heard of it.
So wait a minute. They essentially taught you how to be a politician.
No, it was to tell 3 stories, and it had to use like emotions and like your hands and that kind of thing, and like people had to guess like by looking at your body language and your words you used if it was true or not.
It was like Balderdash to me.
Like what?
Balderdash. I don't know how to play that game. I don't remember this course either. I don't remember.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
This probably explains why I'm so honest.
Oral comp? Wait
a minute. You took oral comp?
Oral comp? Yeah.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
Oh, wow. Oral comp.
Was it oral comp or oil comp?
Yeah, oral composition is an ability to understand information, ideas that are presented through spoken words and sentences.
But you just said everybody was making a bunch of hand gestures.
Right.
And stuff.
I mean, it was like, dude, there was this one kid in the class, a Hispanic kid, and he told a story. I'm not that Hispanic. So he told a story of his mom getting exported.
Playing now?
I mean, deported. And he talked about, he was like, to you guys, well, I'm like, really? No one's going to say nothing?
I didn't catch it until Jamie said exported. She's a good in the service. My hero's my mom.
But dude, it was the most
She came here on a container.
Story.
She's leaving on a container.
It was so emotional, dude. Like he was playing both parts of his mom and him. And he's like, so I was like telling my mom, no. And then he would jump to the other side and pretend to be his mom. And it was this crazy story. And as you're sitting there listening, you're like, man, if this is real, that's crazy. But at the same time, you're like, it sounds a little too like over the top.
Too good to be true. So when it was over, did you call him out in Spanish?
No.
No say. How do you say liar in Spanish?
It's not true because your mom wasn't speaking Spanish. It's a fake story.
You messed up. You said hablalita.
You said exported. You meant deported. It's fake.
Yeah.
Okay, so was the story true?
Yep.
Oh, it was?
Yep.
As far as you know?
The story you're telling us, was it true?
Yes. It was true.
He passed
That's a true
oral
story.
composition with flying colors. It's the Matrix. There was no oral composition. But we believe there is. We believe there is.
What was that? 8th grade? Right? I think it was.
I don't remember saying. I remember communications classes, and that was it. I'm not at all discounting the class that you took. What did you do for yours?
What, the 3 stories?
He told him he was Mexican.
Just tell me one.
Yeah. I'm Hispanic.
That's what you said, and everybody's like, bullshit. My ass, you are.
I'm never wrong.
And then they all turn around, they point at the guy whose mom's getting exported. That guy's Spanish. You're a liar.
That's coming out. I don't know. I'm not a very good public
Don't remember?
speaker, so I remember mine, but it's not one I want to relive all over again.
That's right. I think you
I was
know
more
what?
nervous than anything, which actually was a bonus because of the 3, 2 were true, and everyone thought they were all lies. So that because I was so nervous, I was like, and then
Yeah. I think you're a pretty good public speaker.
not in front of people.
Yeah, sure. You're a good public speaker. Look what you did. Look what you did at last minute notice when we did the live show at Sky Wars. You did fine.
I barely talked.
You talked, but when you did talk, you talked. You didn't look like you were nervous. At CobraCon, you'll be nervous.
Nobody was looking at him.
Nobody was looking at him. Oh, this is great. Fucking the audio up. Nobody can hear me.
Nobody's going to be able to know who I am. I'll be Pyro Boy.
The mascot. They'll know it's you because you're the tallest one, and I don't think they make mascot outfits that large.
His legs are really long.
I know you can't really see Pyro Boy's legs from behind the rhythm sign, but I really did not expect him to be wearing khakis.
Dana, don't wear khakis.
Dana, don't wear khakis.
That's great.
You can wear
Bet you didn't know that Pyro Boy's Canadian.
Welcome to the Rhythm Pyro Podcast, where Rosie, AJ, and Jamie ignite your passion for pyro musical show design while testing the very limits of your capacity for stupid.
Welcome to the Rhythm Pyro Podcast. I'm Bo. That's AJ.
Hola.
That's Jamie.
Hi.
We're hobbyists and semi-professional pyro show designers. We're big fans of the modern pyro musical. And this podcast is a place where we can get together, talk shop, fireworks, art, and share some tips, tricks, news, and insights with a lot of you. Or you lot.
Or y'all.
Huge thanks to the Patreon supporters. Go check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Rhythm Pyro. Thank you so much to all of our Patreon supporters over the entirety of 2024. If you're listening to this, I'm going to be reaching out to all of you personally within probably the month of this month, December, and I'm going to send all of you a gift. So I'm going to ask you for your address. Let's not make it weird. Just give it to me. I'm going to send you something. Thank you so much for your support this year.
12-month calendar.
Yeah. Just give it to
AI
Yeah.
versions of us with no shirts on.
Somebody's going to join for a month just so they can get the free gift. I want that.
Oh, we should release those. That'd be funny.
Who doesn't like free stuff, man?
I like free stuff.
Everybody likes free stuff.
Rhythm Pyro Poppets.
What is huh?
Shh, beep.
Poppets. Is that drugs?
Are you serious?
No, I don't know what that
on the
is.
back of people's phones that they hold on to.
Pop sockets?
That's a pop socket. I'm talking about those little.
He's talking about drugs, I think.
What are those called? There's figurines with the big heads.
Oh God, you're way off, buddy.
Heads.
No, it's not that. Is it Funkos?
Is it Funkos?
Yeah, dude, you're way off. You're way off.
Okay.
It's a bobblehead. Funkos is just a brand. Oh, you're talking about the toy. I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, now you got me curious.
I don't think the Pyro boy would look right.
Yeah.
He said Popo. It sounds like that's drugs to me. That sounds like drugs to me. Go join the Discord server. You'll have a lot of fun. Speaking of the Discord server, before we get into the episode for this week, next week's episode that airs on the 20th, we haven't picked a date yet to record it. Possibly by the time the podcast comes out, you'll know about it. But we're going to post it in the Discord. We'll post something on the Facebook too. We're going to do an end of year bash. It's going to be our last podcast for the year. We'll be back sometime in January. Unsure as to what the date's going to be, but next week's episode is going to be special. Everybody that's in the Discord, we're going to post a calendar invite or something. You'll have a day and a time. It's when we're going to record the episode. You'll be able to listen to the episode being recorded live, and we're going to invite you guys in. We'll talk about anything that you guys want to talk about one at a time. Anybody that's queued up in the lobby room, you'll be able to listen to the show. We'll be able to talk about what you liked about the podcast, what you want to hear more of next year. It's a great way to kind of bring it home for the end of the year. Thank you guys so much for being listeners. We love you. The feedback that you've given us, that you appreciate the show, you appreciate fireworks, you love Pyro musicals just as much as we do. And we can't wait to spend our last episode of the year with you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun and crazy and chaotic. What a way to end it.
Never chaotic.
Yeah, we're going to bring it home, baby.
Controversial.
Controversy. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea. We should really end on a weird note.
A weird note?
It's a weird note. Make everybody go take away. Go, ooh, can't believe that they said that.
Right at the end.
Right. Yeah. Right at the end.
It's provocative.
Yeah.
You got to listen for after the outro.
Yeah. Zach, I'm sorry I yelled at you earlier when we were testing this new system and I didn't set the Discord permissions right. And you just popped into the room. My bad, bro. Get out. Don't look. Get out.
Don't listen to anything we just
said. Out. Yeah.
That is pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. All right. We're going to talk about, this is our last episode of any kind of substance, I guess, for the year. So the educational topic this week, it's the end. It's the end of the season and we're storing our gear for season's end and the Pyro hibernation over the winter. So what do you guys like to do at the end of a season? We'll start with what do you like to do at the end of a season? And then we'll kind of work into what kind of Pyro stuff do you work on to keep you busy in your downtime, if you choose to work on Pyro stuff in your downtime.
Yeah, Jamie, what do you do?
I do nothing.
Yeah, I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to do that.
I typically like to get all my
sat around the table
equipment.
earlier and we're like, okay, well, let's just say this out loud. Now, whatever you do, don't answer with any substance because we want to get all the stuff on the air.
That's right.
Yeah.
So typically
what do you have in your mouth, Bo?
Sorry, I have some ice cube. I got worked up. I wasn't going to talk, but go ahead.
When you like to know what he has in his mouth. So I typically, end of the year, preseason is the time for me to get all my cables cleaned up and wrapped up the proper way because they just got thrown into a container, test them and make sure all the, connectors are good and they test out on the test ear. Do a more deep clean on my Cobra equipment, allocate slats and, replace slats or anything like that that's starting to, deteriorate.
What do you so I guess just to unpack that a little bit so we can kind of dive into some of that stuff one at a time. What do you look for in your cables?
Char marks, screws missing, brackets missing. I hook them up to the tester to make sure all the pins are working. Pins aren't bent and smashed, caked full of mud. It's just a good time to get all that together because then I can be like, oh, wait, I need to order some more cables, or I'm running low on my backup cables. It's time to, cable order needs to go on the list of things to buy this season. It's pretty much the best time to do it. I'm not using it. Typically, nobody else has my equipment. It's just a time for me to say, hold on, is everything I got good? Is there anything that needs to be fixed and updated? And then I can say, okay, now I want to grow my equipment because everything I got's good to go. It's time to add on.
It's time to add on.
Can't
wait for that Cobra's spring sale.
I can dream.
But you don't need to. You got Bo, remember?
What does that mean?
Remember the episode where he's like, and I'll just call Jamie and get racks and stuff. So it's the same thing. Just go, I got Bo.
Yeah,
but he knows
I gotta clean all my racks and lubricate all my racks.
Right. But see, that's the thing is he does all of his cleaning before it goes into storage, just like he outlined and said. And at the end of the season, like my stuff looks just as as it did 6 years ago. So he knows, he's like, I might as well. I just rather buy new stuff.
Looks clean.
Yeah, right.
Less work.
It's way less work.
I don't want to clean these boots. I'm just buying new ones.
This year I ran into where my equipment was used in March or April, and I did not fix my racks from then to the busy season.
Oh, you mean doing the reconfiguration?
Not even the reconfiguration, just all the rods that got bent.
Yeah.
In April last year. Or this year?
Yep.
This year. So when July came around, or was it July? Yeah. I'm like, oh, great. I got to replace all these rods. So it was a hurry up and get it done kind of thing versus, doing it a little bit at a time and not making it work.
Did you regret or have any regrets that you didn't do it sooner?
Yeah. It became a job instead of just a luxury kind of thing.
Like a leisurely pastime kind of deal.
It became not a leisurely thing,
pastime.
But now it's like, now I've got
it's like
stack
baseball.
of racks in a living room. The wife's like, when are you going to get this stuff out of here? It's
Apple
like,
pie,
I gotta
baseball,
clean it, honey.
changing threaded rods, and critical racks in that order.
Wine, thread racks, Harley.
You're onto something with that because I think it weighs on you. This, especially when you're leading into your first shows of the year and you get done with your design, you get done with a lot of your administration, and then you finally work your way into doing the logistical stuff. And then you kind of do your face palm, the beginning of the year face palm where you're like, oh God, I had all of that downtime during the winter. Why the fuck didn't I do this earlier?
Yeah. Octoblast usually gets me that way.
Yeah.
I'm like so much work afterwards. And then it's like, I don't like doing things when it's cold. So it becomes a long task of unloading everything, cleaning it.
Yeah, right. Neither does anybody else on that site. They don't like doing things, period.
You guys are good, right? I'm out of here. Right?
Yeah, you guys good? I'm going to later on.
We'll
Great
leave
show.
the trailer here.
Awesome show. If you need me, give me a holler. I'll be inside asleep.
Jamie brought up a really good thing on the rack or the racks. It's something that I'm really going to pay attention to this winter because I noticed after PGI there was a ton of racks that they're stiff in certain sections. So I want to go back through and loosen them all up and then retighten them down and clean them up so that way they float. They just move a lot easier. I really need to clean them because I didn't do it at all.
Or do you just put like is there like a cleaning solution that you inject in between after you've loosened things up?
Well, usually I'd power wash them, but it's too cold to power wash.
Yeah.
I just loosen the front up completely till they're like flopping around in there, and then just get in between, because it's usually just all those grains and crap that gets in between the tube and the plates. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Weren't
you and Brian talking about, weren't you and Brian Craig talking about some kind of cleaner that works well?
No, that was a cleaner that I got from work. So there's like this, it's like we use it for grab bars and stuff like that to clean that stuff. And it just takes all like, helps get the oxidation off of it. Like all that buildup. It just kind of, it's like a foam, but that's what I mean. I used to power wash it. I'd spray that shit all over and then power wash it.
Okay. I got you. So it was like a 2 or 3 step process. You'd loosen everything up, lather everything down. I mean, when you power washed it, was the rack still together?
But it was completely loose. So that way when I power washed,
it could get in between.
Yeah, it would spread it open when I hit that spot. Yeah.
That's what she does.
Yeah, I had to power wash mine after the mud mess of CobraCon.
Did they come back super f***ed up?
It's just so muddy. I mean, there was just mud caked in the tubes.
Huh. Somebody from Cobra didn't say, yeah, you know what? Well, here you go. Here's $5. Take it to the car wash.
Actually,
obviously one of the manual ones.
Oh my God.
Well, some of them
I just had a weird idea of somebody putting them on the back of a pickup truck.
Some of them were returned in like little urns with the ashes.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that's funny, man. That's not a half bad idea. I really hope that I would like somebody to try that and report back.
Yeah, somebody hook up a GoPro camera in the back of your truck.
I think we should have had little urns for those racks for last year or for this year.
Whoever does it and gets a good video, I'm going to donate a Rhythm Pyro podcast hoodie for that.
You know what? That could be a good content idea. Do that. I'll do that next time I see you guys. We'll need one of, God, whose truck would we use? We'd have to use Jamie's because it's the only one that doesn't have a cap on it. Yeah. Jamie, we'll use your truck, but we can do that with my nasty racks. It makes all the sense in the world.
I don't think those will ever get cleaned.
I guess that's half the point, though, right?
I didn't use my truck. I used an open trailer, utility trailer, threw them in a trailer and just drove it into the car wash.
So you've done this already?
Mm-hmm.
Did it work?
I put them all in the trailer and I had them all in one flat and I just sat there and sprayed them all off.
Oh, I was talking about the automatic.
Oh, the automatic?
Yeah.
I guess.
I was like, how did you do that? I went in, unhooked the trailer real quick and ran out.
Sir, you got a lot of stuff back there. Are you sure you want to go that through the machine?
That's fine.
Yep, that's why I'm here.
When you go through, it's like, do you have a hitch? Yes.
Yes.
Stop talking about it. That is funny.
So, all right. So you do your cable replacement. You do all of your cable cleanup. Then what do you do what about your slats? Yeah, obviously the connector piece of it, probably a lot of spillover from the cables.
Same thing with slats, checking to see if something's broken, that the ends are missing, pins broken, slats that are melted, anything like that. Try to make sure I've got those all separated so burnt ones aren't getting put in with the good ones.
Yeah.
So I know how many slats I actually have.
I think a lot of that happens during the season, right? Like as you find defects or just wear and tear on a slat, they get set aside.
Too. Yeah. Some of them get by you and, they get tossed back in there. And it's a good time it's a full inventory, It's like, this is good. Moving on. Everything gets put in its proper tote.
And soon you'll be able to test all of your slats. CJ's making that slat tester for me.
What a guy.
It's like,
what a guy.
Shunts all of them.
I know him.
I know him.
Thank God for you and your ideas. What would we do without you?
It wasn't.
We wouldn't be able to test slats. That's for sure.
I mean, you would. It'd just take you longer.
Yeah. When your show doesn't shoot.
What?
Because the slat doesn't work. Yeah, right. It's oral composition.
But you want to test it before you shoot. That's the whole point of this.
Well, I know that.
So
I was making a joke.
I know.
He's being facetious.
I'm ruining your joke.
You ruined my joke. You ruined my joke because you were part of it. This is par for the course.
Your head joke.
I don't get it.
You'll get it later. You'll get it when you listen to the podcast Friday. Oh.
What about you, AJ? For is there any differences in that workflow for you for cable slats and just I guess we can cover electronics in general first since we're talking about it.
Well, it's been the same for the longest time. As every time after a show, I don't do it all because I get the kids to help out. But every cable's already been pre-tested after every show. Slats, no. That's usually beginning of the year or at the end of the year. Preferably at the end of the year, which, like I said, that'll be a good CJ project. Hey, bud, you want to make some money?
Yeah, and we're talking about the slat manufacturer. He does a lot for AJ.
No,
he manufactures stuff, and
My
when AJ's like,
son,
"Hey,
CJ.
buddy, you want to clean these slats?"
Wow. Not Muck's board, CJ. CJ, my son. Wow.
You guys store your Cobra stuff inside?
I want to say yes.
Yeah. Is that a no? Or was that just like a maybe?
He wants to say yes, which means he probably doesn't know where it is.
It's in my trailer still.
It's sort of inside. One of the modules is probably still on. I don't know.
No, all the modules
turn the
off.
AT&R2 on. You'll find out.
I went through that.
Yeah, all my stuff's kept indoors all year round. I usually unplug the battery, but leave it inside the module.
That eliminates so much yanking stuff out and put them all in one place and then having to redistribute them the next year. It's so much easier just to pull the lid and then disconnect the cable.
It only takes a minute when we got the boots too, so it's real quick. Beneficial, the boots. Thank you, Bo, for that. Make me switch.
That's right. You can take
No
those
more
and just
suitcases.
shove them anywhere you like.
What?
Anywhere you like. They'll fit just about anywhere. I mean, one other module that's not Ignite or Firefly that will fit in glove box is probably a good one of a sedan size 4-door.
The little pocket in the back seat.
Little pocket in the back seat, that well in the door that I throw all the trash into.
That's where I find shunts all the time. It's weird.
Oh, those little
one.
copper.
Did you have all my
tracking
shunts?
down? It's time to track down shunts.
Still trying to find my 36 that are missing from PGI.
It's okay. I got 200 and I think I'm down to like 70.
Oh, so you had 200. I'm like, that's where they are.
Well, if I got 250, I'll tell you.
What about you, Bo? Where's your stuff?
They're pretty run of the mill, like the rack stuff. The racks, I tend to, I mean, you guys don't know, I'm terrible about cleaning them, which is to say I don't. Although migrating to your princess tape has stopped the cancer from spreading. So that's been nice on the Craigco racks.
Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly. You gotta take your wins where you can get them. And then cables, same kind of deal. And I'll look at them for anything that's charged, screwed up. I'll look at all the connectors. I almost do the connectors on a as needed basis. Usually when I'll pull them out for a show and then go to plug them in. If I notice that they don't have a screw or something, then I'll just toss them at the show. What I need to get better at, actually, hindsight being 2020, it's good that we're talking about this. I do need to get better at, similar to what we do on the group sites, when we have everybody that has these really specific jobs after cleanup, people are pulling stuff from positions, they're coming back. I'm checking stuff for damages and putting it aside, then recording the damage, whose stuff it is. And then Amber's taking the stuff that's good, cleaning it or giving it to the cleaners, and the cleaners are taking it and putting it on whoever's table, like just to keep it all, like all of that is super organized. I need to be better about that on my own sites because don't do a good job. If I have a cable that I pull and that cable, like it has a screw that's gone, I'll usually use it. That's not as big a deal to me as, say, like a charred cable or something that I just didn't throw away from prior to, or something that it causes functional damage. I'll just toss it. Like I'll trash it, and then I'll forget to record that I trashed a cable. But at some point, that affects how many cables do I have. I can't remember.
I had 21.7. Now I have 20. Damn,
yeah, exactly. Because I can't remember. I don't think it was Chasing Ghosts. I think it was Angel Wings. It was really, really close on cables. So much so that I ran out of cables, because I remember having to switch out 2 of Dad's 18Ms. I had to take 2 of his extra 18Ms, which are configured for onboard speaker terminals, and use those. And I had to reconfigure at least 2 positions worth of matches to use his, because I didn't have cables for him, because I just didn't allocate it right. So didn't do my math right.
So you don't use your that cable tester you make and actually test each cable?
I do. Usually at the beginning of the season.
Gotcha.
Beginning of the season, before I take them out, I'll do that. I should do them, like Jamie mentioned, and do them at the end of the season once they're going into storage. And I think it's probably, if I were to take a wild guess, it's probably for the same reasons that Jamie doesn't do it. Because the only time that you're in the bucket and you're going through all of this stuff, you're likely doing it in the most uncomfortable weather outside at 3 a.m. in the middle of nowhere, and you just don't want to do it. I mean, at Octoblast, there was so much trash on all the modules, and there was so much, I don't know if it was, like a lot of that stuff was wet from rain, like rain or dew or whatever it was, that it was just nasty. Like everything required so much cleaning work to get to a point before you put it away.
Water cannons.
Yeah, that's it.
I got sprayed right in the face when I was out there.
Yeah. Where's Jamie? He just made record time.
Steven nailed me dead center between my eyes with the water
cannon. The wheel. I've never seen
there.
Right. I've never seen a wheel on fire like that, though.
It was pretty cool.
It's a wheel of fire.
It's a burning wheel of fire. And it burns.
One big thing I noticed at the end of the year, really going through everything, is when I actually find, because I always forget when I do see them, is the little, what are they called? Standoffs? The pieces, the DB25. Yep. I always end up missing one on a module, or it'll come off of a slat or something.
Cable.
Oh yeah, dude. The cables eat those alive. They suck them up. They just take them with them.
And you don't even notice it on cleanup. It just pops up. And then when you go to plug it in, you're like,
end of the year.
Where'd that go?
End of the year.
And it's gone.
I thought about using like blue Loctite on them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be worth it, or if they think they loosen up again, or God forbid I go to take it off and I'm like, this thing won't break. It's going to break.
Right.
And you know how long that would take to go through every one of those?
Oh, dude.
You just do it as you replace them.
Well, this is why you've got kids, though.
Yeah. That's why you have CJ.
Yeah.
Dude, you just have CJ do it before he ships the slat out.
Yeah.
Hey, CJ, what do you think about Loctiting every one of these little nuts here?
Oh, this is great.
Standoff. You're good with that, right?
Everything. Amber does everything. I don't do anything.
Yeah, what do you do?
Nothing. I just pay for it all. It's perfect.
You ever grab a cable out and to use it, and then you're wondering why? Yeah, right. It's still stuck on there, and you're wondering why it won't go.
And you're like, where did this come off of? I'll find it eventually.
Yeah.
Or like when you find 2 and you put it on top of the tote, and then you're like, all right, let me just throw this away. I'll be right back. And you come back, and Amber pulls the lid off of that tote, and you're like, no!
And there it goes.
And in the grass forever.
And now it's really gone. Before it was a case of, well, that'll turn up somewhere. Now you're never going to see it again.
Nope. I got a whole packet of them now. Spares upon spares.
So you guys store your firing system stuff inside. That's good. And I store mine in an insulated garage. So that's good. I mean, I would say trying to keep it somewhat temperature controlled to a degree is probably a good thing. I mean, leaving it in the trailer, I don't know that it's really necessary. I wouldn't like leaving.
I don't leave it out there forever.
I wouldn't like leaving.
I'll get to it eventually.
The battery cells in the elements like that. That would, because I think that would kill them.
Plus, I guess for you, your garage is attached, so that's another thing. I don't want to go outside and go get them if I want to do something.
Yeah.
You just go out the door into the garage. I'm like, I gotta go outside on the deck, down the stairs, out the garage, grab the stuff, come back upstairs. Nope. Ain't doing it.
Of all the things that motivate you, I like that. You draw the line somewhere.
It's cold.
Draw the line. It's going outside. Just build you a breezeway from your garage to your house. Call it a day.
I don't have that kind of Jamie money.
Uh-huh.
I spend it on fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it elevated too, since you've got that raised porch. You can just have the raised porch go over and connect to the garage and install a fire pole that goes right into your chamber.
Freaking, yeah.
When I moved in, I told Amber.
You could put a slide in too, so that you could slide stuff from your house to the garage, or maybe just do a conveyor. So you can go both ways.
We moved in. I told Amber I wanted to go from our deck to the garage and build a second story to the garage, so it walked right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she didn't go for it.
Didn't go over well, huh?
I was like, come on, think about it. It's awesome.
You could have talked her into a 4-car garage. Amber, if we build a second story,
vertically.
We can. Yeah, exactly.
If we do that, you can actually put your car in the garage, Amber.
She could put her car in the garage. Just my trailer's in the way. That's all.
What do you guys do with your big gear season end? Do you do any special maintenance for the trailers?
I usually wait till the spring on that because I don't like it cold outside.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, this is early enough, but this year, again, after PGI, I got home and I ended up scraping as much of rust I could off of underneath anything that was like spot rust.
Yeah.
And I completely sprayed the whole bottom of my trailer with black enamel paint
to
nice. Like cover up everything and refresh and all that up, just so I don't get any good rust spots growing.
Look at you.
Look at you.
Look at you. I would like to hire you. I think those leaf springs that are under mine need
you to start and move my truck once a week.
Yeah. Yeah. When's the last time that thing started?
Dude, it's okay. I got it's an EV
Is
now. The truck's an EV now, so I can, once the battery dies, I just plug it in. And it's fine.
You're supposed to plug it in before it dies, so it doesn't die. It is called a battery maintainer.
We really should go start it more often, man. Got to get those fluids running through it. Dry
it doesn't
out
need to start it. It just needs to leave it plugged in.
Forever and ever. Yeah, I need Katie to take more of those, those 1-point turns around the, like these impossible, by the laws of physics, they should never be attempted turns from parked in the street to into the driveway. And then did I tell you that she hit that thing? she managed to hit the little port that's now on the front bumper. Didn't do any damage to the port, but it ripped it ripped one of her wheel well plastic thingies off.
I put that port on there good, didn't I?
You did. Boy, did you ever.
That extra quarter inch.
Oh, gotcha.
She didn't have the extra quarter inch like she used to.
She didn't like it when I came out, and the first thing that I was looking at was my truck. She's like, what about my car? I said, well, what kind of...
Your car hit my truck. My truck didn't hit your car.
Turn was going to work.
That's right. Steph did the same thing to me.
What'd she do?
She hit my truck with her truck.
Oh, it didn't do any damage, all right?
Just scuffed up and scratched the paint, dented my truck a little bit. But mine's a truck, so I really didn't care. But hers, yeah, she had to buy touch-up paint and everything else. Probably going to buy a new bumper because it's got a scratch on it.
Was she trying to make what kind of maneuver was she trying to make?
Reverse.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh, what about you, Bo? What do you do with your trailer?
Absolutely nothing. It's a lie for this year. I have to replace the 4-pin trailer coupler on it. That little connector, because there's a bare wire that's exposed right at one of those little pivot joints, that just wears over time. It eventually wore through, and then I noticed. Dad had noticed it when I was towing the trailer. What?
So you just reminded Jamie to do something. I heard him. Oh, I gotta do that.
My trailer port charger is deteriorated. I got to replace that.
What's wrong with it?
It just corroded and broke off. I've got an extra one. I just was going to wait till this winter. Pull it in the shop, and I forgot about it.
And that's the difference, right, between me and you, is if I want to do that kind of work in the winter, I don't have
you got to bring it to me.
Yeah, I got to bring it to you, and then just bring you alcohol, and then you can do it for me. Which, by the way, I do want. That is a winter project.
You want that put in your truck?
Yes, right. That shelf thing. That I think is great, because I'm so sick and tired of monkeying up into the back of that truck and then walking around like the flying monkey from Wizard of Oz.
Oh, you want the drawer thing?
Does the back?
Well, I didn't buy it yet. I'm gonna buy it.
Does the back drawer come out where you can reach the back of it?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
So everything that you put into the back, it's gonna it'll come all the way out, and then it's easy to access anything that's in the back. But I definitely want to do that this winter or spring, whichever works. At your leisure.
Winter's better.
Winter's better if you can do it indoors.
Leisure.
I have one less job during the wintertime.
When you go in that big garage, though, you guys shut the door and work in there where the lift is?
I don't leave the door open, but it's heated in there.
Yeah, see, that's amazing. You were the one that was bitching about, I don't like to do any of this stuff in the winter.
I don't like to store my product. I have to have my trailer out, and I have to haul everything out. So I got to do that on warm days when I'm not working. I don't store my equipment at the barn. I store it in my basement, and I store all my racks in the trailer.
Yeah.
But that trailer is packed full from that stupid 4x8.
Yeah. I'd say it was worth it, though, wasn't it?
It was worth it.
Oh, the 4x8's still in the trailer. Oh, that's right. You haven't emptied the trailer since then.
Dude, the trailer's just as full when I went there. I don't understand it.
Nothing's moved at all.
I need to drop my speakers off when I work on your truck and figure out what's wrong with those.
And so while you're working on the truck, I'll just unload your trailer, and then I'll work on your speakers. Yeah.
See, now we're trading.
Perfect.
Right.
Trades work.
We'll build the compound at Jamie's father-in-law's house.
I got a solderer there if you need it. I don't know what else. I got an insulated screwdriver and a flashlight. Hopefully that's all you need.
He just has to turn them on.
Yeah.
Yep, they're blown.
Yeah, it's blown. It doesn't work. My job is over.
No more Pyro musicals for me.
Well, you settle for Pyro musicals with every frequency under 400 hertz. That's all you're going to get.
That or everybody's got to use their headphones.
And Pyrocast. It's good. You lazy sucks. You guys love playing on your phones here. And
it would save me a lot of time not have set in those speakers.
I just don't understand why I'm being asked to bring headphones to a fireworks show. I don't get it.
I need you to bring me a case of fireworks and some headphones and a trash bag.
What's the trash bag?
Yeah.
What's it? You're going to stay and help clean up.
Yeah, there you go. My man. You tell him, buddy.
We'll be done in 30 minutes.
What's that? Pick that
if
up
all 50 of you come out and give me 5 minutes, we'll be done in 30 minutes.
That's right.
Never works out that way.
Should make a PSA announcement that says, thank you. If you've donated to tonight's show, then you're welcome to leave. If you didn't give anything, Randy's in the crowd. He's going to be distributing trash bags. You're required to come out to the field and throw some stuff away.
It will be a low cost of $20.
You're not invited back next year. Thanks for stopping by.
What do you think some good ideas, like we were talking about earlier, to do to keep you occupied, though? Anything
Work on
Pyro?
Sims.
Yeah, this time of year, frankly, it's, we make fun of that stuff all the time, but it is really kind of the best time of year to do that.
Fix the ones that were stupid and ugly.
Anything that you made note of in one of your 4 or 5 note columns available to you in Finale 3D.
Oh my God. I figured
This sim
you'd
is
like
stupid. Fix it. I want to know how many times you wrote,
We
you
need
typed
before
out,
and
this
afters.
sim is stupid, fix it, before you just copied it to the clipboard and control
Once.
V'd it. Really?
Once.
And
Yeah.
you just pasted the
yeah.
rest of them?
Yeah.
Did you ever get a hankering just to say, you know what, this, I'm just gonna, like, they're all ugly, and click and drag?
It was that golden strobe horsetail by Spirit.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I'm like, it looks nothing like what the sim is. It's not as long as it's supposed to be. The pre-fire time is, what the heck? It actually looks pretty good now.
So we
Pretty
need a
happy with
before
it.
and after once you get it done.
The before is the, what's it called? The catalog. The after is mine. I was very happy with it.
You do it. You need to make the sim and sell it back to them.
Yeah.
Picture this.
The timing was close, but the way that thing just lingered and spread, it's like was nothing. I'm like, no. That's
Yeah.
why it was so impressive when I actually saw it in IRL. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you're able to keep all of that straight and it still winds up translating to a really good show. And I think that's why a lot of people don't spend the time. One, it's super tedious. Nobody likes to spend that much time working on computer sims. But two, if they just have a good memory, they can look at these sims and they more or less, they know they have a good visual cortex for like, okay, I think that this is going to look okay here. There's that cut of person, and then there's
Us.
right. Yeah, right. I can't see anything. Like, I need to be able to see and understand the geometries that I'm trying to make. Otherwise, I don't know what they're going to look like and they're going to look good. Because if you shoot something that winds up looking like crap, then I don't know. Then I'm not like AJ, you do really good at this. Like, you can shoot something once and then you'll know, oh man, that like it still wasn't right. It still wasn't close to, like, I noticed this one part of my show. I can't do that. Like, I have to shoot the show and then I'm really excited. It doesn't, no matter what it looked like. And then I have to go back and then I'll look at stuff and then it'll start, like, the more I watch the show, it'll come to me. Like, I'm like, oh, you know what? That was off. That looked weird. I need to go back and fix something.
Yeah, that's every show, though. Once you start messing with new stuff, every time you get something new, there's always some subtle thing you got to change.
It constantly keeps moving. So I guess to Jamie and your point, this time of year, if you're not super busy and you are a visual tool designer,
Get busy.
yeah, right. Get busy. Find something to do.
Get in there with a piece of paper and pencil and start doing your inventory, okay? No more whining, no more crying.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Update
Jamie.
and organize your inventory. Weird.
Well, yours is almost done. I mean, Chad shot all your shit already, so.
This is true.
There's something beautiful about starting from scratch.
Yeah,
I thought
exactly.
real easy.
he sold it all.
Well, you owed him rent.
Yeah,
I wonder if he'd let me put my stuff there too.
Jamie's like got a perfect spot. I just thought about this. He's 2.5 hours from you and 2.5 hours from Chad.
I'm an hour from him and two.
You're the cream
2.5
between
from
the
Chad.
two Oreos.
Where's the cream filling?
Yeah. What are you going to do? Are we going to like erect an outhouse or something at Jamie's place?
I was just thinking he's got the perfect, he's got everything he could possibly need in 2.5 hours in both directions.
Jamie, you don't use that stupid pool anymore. Let's just do that. Pull the cover off that pool. We'll suck it dry and then we'll make like a hole in the ground storage.
You might get attacked by mosquitoes and frogs.
What else do you guys do during the wintertime when if you're not doing like Sims and stuff? Is there any creative efforts?
Watch firework videos.
Yeah.
And then also lots of music listening too. That's it. That's all I ever do. And then that's it.
How much of the new videos of product tends to come out at the end of the year, like Q4, Q1 period?
It's usually out already for everything that's coming out like a few months ago before the 2025. I guess it's more of also going back and revisiting stuff that you might have looked at before and you were like, and you go back and look at it again. Because then it might catch your eye again. Might something, going back to those old videos, maybe at that time, wherever your mindset was for that year, just wasn't feeling it. But then you go back and watch it and you're like, you know what? There is something unique about that.
Yeah.
Plus now
stuff that you might not have just
din.
Yeah, right. Now it's going to be way worse.
Yeah, way worse. Thanks, Ann. It's all Dan's fault, honey. And Dan. Yeah. Literally, and Dan.
Yeah, he went over he went over 12 cakes this year, and I got to have them all, and they're all from different manufacturers.
What do you know?
Got plenty of new people to buy from.
Road trip, honey.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to travel. Let's go.
What?
Come on, honey. 8 states in 2 days. We got this. What about you, brother? What do you do? Well, I think, let me guess on one of them. Creating that music.
Yeah, writing music this is the only time of the year that I really get to do it. I mean, the rest of the year is like I have from, I don't know, maybe November, December. December is when I start to kind of get back into the swing of things, and I actually have time to pick up the guitar and noodle around. And then that usually goes from now until whenever I feel like I have something cool.
Oh, you got something cool.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's been great too, because like that's the one thing that always worries me, because you never know. Like, when you're sitting down and you're doing something creative like that, it's no different than when you're designing a pyro show. You put all this stuff down in software and you're sitting down, you're like writing a riff, you're playing around with drum grooves or whatever. Like, you're just doing your creative thing. And then who knows, it could be hours later, and the save screen shouldn't even say, when you go and hit save, it shouldn't say, do you want to save this? It should say, do you sure you want to save this shit? Because a lot of times you run into sometimes it's garbage, and sometimes it was fruitless. Sometimes you think it's cool and you come back a day or two later and you listen to it or you watch it if you're doing fireworks stuff. And then you're like, no, what was I thinking? This is not good. It's a lot of that. Just kind of go and keep writing, keep creating.
It's no different, right, than when we start creating shows. You start doing something, you're like, nope. And then you come back to it later, mess with it again. Nope. Come back one more time. Next thing you're like, got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to walk away.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. But the times that, you run into something where you're like, wow, when you put it down on, like, when you put a rundown in software or, write a riff or something and then come back and listen to it the next day. And if it still has that appeal, then that's the stuff that makes me smile, because, especially after, like, I haven't touched it for a while. Like, there's times where I've gone and written a chorus, a verse, maybe done an intro or something like that. And then I just kind of let it fall by the wayside because I had another idea and moved on to something else, just inspired creatively by something else, that you come back to it or you bounce it down and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go through like this folder of crap that I have on my Google Drive, and I'll pull it up in the car and I'll listen to it and I'll go, oh man, I got to come back to that because there's something special about it. Or nope, not a chance. Never going to revisit that one again. It's weird.
Do you have a folder for that where you put this one's weird and these ones are maybes?
I don't. What I will usually do is if something's really, really special, then I'll do a render of it and then put it in my Google Drive. So that way, like, I have that folder of just stuff that I know, okay, this is something that I want to remember. But the stuff that winds up being crap, I'll leave that open overnight and then come back to it the next day, play it. And if it's junk, then I'll just move on and then do something else. That's happened quite a lot. And believe it or not, I think there was something that I had sent you years ago. And I can't remember what it was because it was just the date that I had in it, because I just put my phone in front of the computer and then I just put the date on there with like a picture of some of my picks laying on my desk. And for the life of me, I cannot find that file anywhere. Like all I have is the date, but everything that I recorded within like a week of that date isn't that song, which means I started recording that riff at an earlier date, and then it eventually took off and became something like uber cool. And then I just forgot to name it. So I have no idea which one it is. It was that one that was like the whole thing was nothing but like really wild solo stuff.
Was it like the like dive bombing solo stuff?
Yes. It had tons of dive bombs in it. It was all over the place, but it sounded epic because I had written it in.
It's in the rhythm chat.
Like a harmonic minor key. It is, but the date that's on that video, because I didn't send it in like a MP3 file format. Yeah. I made this clever as shit little video thinking that I was being cool, and never to think that I wouldn't remember what it was.
Find it for you? Is that what you're asking?
No, I mean you can do that, but it's not going to help because I've already done this.
During your downtime, you just go through each file and listen. It's
like,
nope.
Some of those Reaper sessions are ridiculous. They take because I got so many stinking plugins in a lot of these sessions, because that's the other thing that I'm not good at, because I tend to let my like the technical side of my approach to music, because I like first and foremost, I mean, I love writing music. Don't get me wrong. Music, like writing music and composing music is amazing. And I love doing that during the winter. But I am guilty as charged. The number one greatest thing that I love to do in music production is produce and mix. I love taking music that's just raw recordings and then turning it into what you hear on the radio or what you hear in streaming platforms.
The mixing down of it.
Yeah, it's so much more than that too. I mean, it's like there's so much to mixing, but I'll write something
more of a tone. Like I've heard your raws, and then what comes out after that, it's 9-day difference.
Yeah, it's
like
way
putting
different.
on $1.99 headphones and then putting on a pair of $1,000 headphones.
Yeah. Taking all of that stuff and then but that's just as bad and I guess you could probably apply that to Pyro in some way, shape or form too, because it's easy to get sidetracked with some of the stuff that don't necessarily make it easier to get you from the creative stuff to the end of the road. I'm really good in Pyro musicals about separating the creative and the logistical, but for music, I just get I sucked in by my love for taking like just raw stuff and mixing it, that like I'll write like a chorus and a breakdown or something. And then before you know it, I've spent an hour and a half writing and then 4 hours taking it and mixing it. But then I realized once I got a full mix done, I don't even have a song. It's like, why did I do that?
What do you mean you don't have a song?
You got a song, but you don't have the rest of the song, because all I've written is like two, maybe 16 to 24 bars worth of whatever. So at that point, it's a challenge to come back to it and go, oh, okay, well now I gotta.
You get overly excited. I want to do this. This is gonna. I want to know what this sounds like.
Yeah,
got it. Next.
Got it. Sounds like nope. I don't want to save 4 hours worth of work.
I do want to spend a little time this year. I thought about it since, I guess I could have done it last year, but I didn't really think about doing it this way. When I listen to music, I want to sit down and record myself so that I can hear the music and talking to the mic. And Jamie mentioned this last week too, as you're listening to music, or maybe it was David, when you're listening to music, how you just always see stuff. You can no longer listen to music without seeing fireworks of some kind or just picturing something. I just want to sit there and when I'm listening to songs, be able to just speak out things that I'm thinking at that moment. Because I always seem to do that in the car. Mm-hmm. And then by the time I get home, I'm like, what was it? I had an idea.
Right. Why can't I had it. Why can't I remember it?
It's I got to start taking notes in my head.
Do you guys see particular effects when you do that? Or are you seeing in
sometimes?
Yeah.
Or it's multiples. Like if I'll picture it. Oh, it's weird. I always start with minds because it's the easiest thing to like keep simple. And then I advance from there. Like, all right, let's make this comments now, or this and this, or this meteor, and picture it like that.
Yeah. You're seeing
for
like
some reason, minds are always
patterning
first because they're simple.
Yeah. It's a good place to start too, because frankly, if you're thinking in terms of hit points on a timeline, I mean, that's a great way to visualize those hit points. Just quick burning mines.
Well, like you can I don't know. I always like interchange. So if it's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll start thinking of those in minds and like picturing it, and then changing the minds to a different effect in my head, like something that lasts longer. So I know that, hey, I can hit it on this one and let it burn out, and it's going to make it last this much longer and not have to be so full. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's something I definitely want to do this winter because I'm sick of always having ideas. And then I go to think about it again. I'm like, what was it? I had an idea. It was really cool. What was it? Never mind. I forgot.
Send me some of those videos, please. Can you video yourself?
No way.
Working your way through it. I'd love to watch that. I thought we were watching Peaky Blinders. Nope, we're watching AJ. We're watching AJ's stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
This is so much
By order of the Rhythm Pyro podcast.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else for wintertime stuff. I'd be interested in hearing everyone else's opinion on what they like to do during the winter for keeping things straight. I mean, it's pretty chill for us. I know for bigger display companies and things like that, I'm sure I'd love to kind of dive into some of the display companies and see what they do during the winter, because I'm sure they've got entire end of year protocols for some of the slower points of the season.
Yeah. Inventory, rack rebuilding.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. Total rack rebuilding. Yep.
Yeah. Huge. I mean, we only touch on what we do, but like getting into that industry section part, couldn't imagine going through everything. So that way it's done. Mm-hmm. All right. You guys take this wall. I'll take this wall. You take that trailer.
Yeah. Well, when we did rack rebuilding for OPAG over the last 2 seasons, man, I mean, it was really cool to dive into it, and, you get everybody in the same place. And then it was really special to watch all of that come together. It was really cool. You got that kind of like that feeling that you get when you're watching like a Christmas special or something. You can see you walk around, you're seeing all the elves working on something. Hey, what's Bo doing over there? He's just carrying a clipboard.
You cut the strip
That's
wrong,
what
man.
he does.
This spacer's smaller than that spacer.
Yeah. Walk around and pick up random stuff off of tables and hold it up to the light and squint at it.
Actually, I need to get hold of Doug. He's talked about rebuilding some racks for like 2 years now. I need to go out there and be like, all right, man, let's do this. Let's polish this off this weekend. Let's get it over with.
How many's you got to rebuild?
I don't know. I would only think a few that I can think of, but I think for him, he more wants to rebuild them so that they're all like same shot, same size kind of thing. Like he's acquired racks from different like companies that went out of business and such.
Yeah.
So like the 10 shot might have like a bigger board on the end. So it's like another 2 inches thicker or like an inch thicker kind of thing. So when you go to apply these together, he's like, all right, I have 25 10 shot of this one that are the same size. I got 6 of these. So this one 10 shot, 3 inch, and so on and so on. So it's like, you have to remember, okay, these all got to go together here. These all got to go together. But if you could have it all together at one, it's fine.
Yeah.
Less logistical work.
Yeah, right. But I mean, does he get a lot of recurring help with that when it's time to do those rebuilds, or is he the kind of guy that just kind of like, hey, you know what? I'm going to work on racks this weekend.
I don't know. I know he's done a few by himself, but I don't think it's been an extensive one. That'd be a lot of work.
Yeah.
I know he'd do it. But Doug, I know you're listening. I'm there to help, man. Just give me a call. We'll get her done.
As long as it's not outside.
Yeah, as long as it's not outside.
Doug just shook his head
inside
and said, well, AJ's out.
If there's a bar,
he's got a garage.
As long as there's no wind.
Work outside.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We'll be fine. Let's do this. We'll drive down and see. We'll come down to Jamie's. Be like, all right, let's go to the father-in-law's. There we go. See?
Wait, AJ, what are we doing? We're going to Ohio to work on your racks. You got them all packed up, right?
Yeah. Road trip.
Yeah.
We're using your trailer, AJ.
They wouldn't fit my trailer. Actually, we wouldn't even be able to use his trailer. We'd have to go like rent a semi for doing all of them.
Do you guys have any end of season? I think we touched on product for a second, but any end of season aside from, reconciling inventories, the inventory reconciliation is usually something that I'll wait for good weather for, because I hate this. I absolutely despise doing that because mine's in a really cold spot. But do you guys do any end of year inventory cleanup or reconciliation?
In theory.
You got a guy.
Got a guy.
I got a guy that does it for me.
It rhymes with mad.
Hey, Mad. Can you go out there and count for me?
How many cases of yellow 22 millimeters do I have left?
One less than you asked last time.
Yeah.
You want to go for 2?
Ask me again.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't really do anything special with the inventory stuff. What about you, AJ?
Not really. This year, though, I did go through and found, someone mentioned this on the Discord too, like those ones you have like 1 or 2 of.
Yeah.
Just random. So every one of those that I had,
I think
one or 2 of,
Curtis asked that question.
Curtis
it was in the suggestion box. He'd put it in it. Like, what do you do with the leftovers? Right.
Somebody said buy more, but that's what made me think is like the stuff I have, anything I would buy would be a brand new batch and a brand new lot. I know for sure. So I'm I'm going to just take all these out and just blow them up somewhere one day. Just fire all those little ones. Just get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Give them away. Pyro's in need.
Give it away.
Well, and that's, you got a good point there. I mean, some people will just they'll take the new stuff and mix it in with the old stuff. And if they don't really pay attention to or really care, I guess, about the quality of differences between one batch and the next production batch, then sure, you can absolutely do that. But I can see why that you would want to liquidate some of the old stock, because you truly don't know, how much is, especially if it's crazy different from, the one previous, what a difference a season can make in the quality of product that you get.
Yeah, anything lower than 5 shots, I'm getting rid of. So if I have 5, I'll do that, because you can do something with 5.
Yeah.
1 quick shaping or something.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
That'll be fun. I got, probably a Craig Korak and a half easily.
Really?
Of just Comets and then mines. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's that? 7 cakes.
Yeah.
That I have 1 of. And they're old. They're from the 2019 batch.
Ooh, man.
So I'm going to get rid of these.
Those are all single shots now.
There was stuff from the Dad and I had that I brought to Octoblast to get rid of, and I shot that stuff during open shoots. If you're part of any clubs or you just have the ability to shoot whenever you want to shoot, and the product differences matter to you. I mean, this stuff that I had was 20. Oh God, it was 20 18 WF boom stuff. And they were just like, they were bits and pieces. You know, what's crazy was some of the stuff was like the lift charges in those. It had me worried because I'd never cut those open completely to see what the composite, like what production form factor the lift is, because this 1.4 stuff, it could be, you know, you get in there and you actually feel your lift chamber, which is the norm, or you get that crazy stuff where you feel nothing at all. And you're like, oh,
it makes you worried. You're
what?
Like, is there something in here?
You know, and then it makes you want to go grab some, like a couple things of white fuse or whatever, you know, cut it open, just get some strands of black match and like jam it in there. Hopefully that you have enough primer to throw some fire around to get this stuff off the ground. But I couldn't believe it, Jamie, at Octoblast when I was shooting that stuff on the open shoot line. I thought for sure, I was like, there's no way. Because remember when I came up to you and I asked, I was like, hey, can I use one of your extra Medusas? And you're like, yeah, go in there and get them, bud. And then I loaded them up with all this stuff with every single shot, thinking to myself, nope, no lift in there. Nope, no lift in there. No lift in there. Right,
that,
I didn't tell you, right? I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to owe him a rack by the time this is over, because all these are going to blow up.
I've had Katos in there and they're still good.
Still good to go. Yeah. Well, everything went off exactly where it was supposed to. 100 feet in the air.
Hopefully it was more than 100 feet.
Most of them were about 100, I would say probably 150 feet. They were nice, and I couldn't believe it though. I thought for sure that none of that stuff was going to go. But you're right, liquidate it, man. That's a good point. Get rid of it.
So that way I know whatever's new is fresh, and I hate little pieces of one-offs too.
Well, they're a pain to keep track of as well.
Like you said, for batch to batch, I wonder if your dad still has that blonde joke from Keith's camp.
I'm quite certain he has blonde jokes from 7 or 8 years ago.
Yes, every firework from anything he's ever had.
If he knew what year was what, it'd be really cool to see like an old one, a middle one, and a new one.
Yeah.
Just stop talking about it, AJ. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, AJ. That's a good cake.
That's a good cake.
Don't worry about it. That's a good cake right there.
Sorry, buddy. It got watered down. It did. I know it did.
There was
a time.
What I want to do is so I kind of ripped this idea off from Doug, but I started taking like really cool wrappers and putting them on the walls inside the trailer. And I'm still like doing it onto the ceiling with some of those. I want to do that with Blonde Joke. I want to cut off like one of the sides of his cake and then put it on the ceiling with a bunch of tape over it, you know?
Condensation didn't get on him?
No, well, I put packing tape on it. I put I seal it off with like a really cool.
Put it on there and then put like a clear coat laminate over top of it.
Yeah. Just make the whole inside of the trailer.
Like decoupage.
Exactly. Make it so there's no feasible way whatsoever that you could resell the trailer.
Exactly. Oh, you could sell it. You could sell it to a Pyro somewhere.
Yeah, to a Pyro.
Exactly. And you'll get double what it's worth.
That's true. I mean, that'd be the first place that I'd list it.
Yeah.
And it's to
Take
a Pyro.
It to PGI.
They wouldn't buy it. Tough crowd.
They would talk about it.
Tough. Yeah. So
this trailer has been too.
Yeah.
It's a piece of history, man. It's been talked about on the Rhythm Pyro podcast as well.
Bo replaced this connector with his bare hands in 2024. Brand new 4-pin connector.
Bo fixed it.
That'd put people off. That'd put people off.
Everybody would come to see it. You could charge admission.
No, I'd get DMs and people go, well, hold on a second. Did you fix it or did you have Jamie fix it? And if I tell them that you did it, then they will buy.
Maybe we should do the challenge. Let's see if we can actually fit Bo's trailer into Jamie's trailer.
Yeah. Then we'll leave it there. As soon as it's in, we'll go inside and start drinking.
Because it ain't coming back out.
Yeah.
It's stuck. It made it in. It ain't coming out.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Anything else for end of season Pyro hibernation tendencies?
That's my favorite thing to do during the end of season.
Hibernate. I want to play some video games this winter too. I always like playing video games. If anybody on the Discord wants to play video games, tell me what you're playing. Let's play. Jamie and I'll come play with you.
I haven't figured out how to do fireworks in Call of Duty yet.
At the same time?
No. You know how we have fireworks in Valheim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't found fireworks in Call of Duty yet. But I'm sure there's a way.
How many hours are you on in Valheim?
Sorry, I don't know what Valheim is.
Hours? I don't know.
Oh, 500,000.
Hundreds.
500,000. I thought I was bad until I met Jamie. And just like the Pyro hobby, he gets into it and then like surpasses my playtime. And I'd been playing for like 3 years. I'd get up every single day and check the server, and it was like a perpetual state of one connection. One connection. Oh, he's playing.
You have one friend online.
And then I'd log on, and like the entire landscape of every base that we'd started to build had just changed. And it gets more elaborate and more elaborate. But before you know it, I have no fucking idea where I'm at. Like, I don't even recognize this place anymore. Yeah. This is my home and I don't even recognize it. It looks so good.
Where's my bed?
Now you know how Katie feels.
Wow. It took me a second.
Oh, you have ruined my living room, you piece of shit. Get this stuff off of the dining room table.
If one more package shows up with your name on it.
Katie, will you please post a picture of the dining table on the Rhythm Power podcast page so we can all see the table?
Yeah, it looks better now.
I want to see the piano.
The banner.
The piano.
Oh, the piano. No, it's the cats have ruined the piano.
Yeah, but I saw it last time I was.
I know. You're welcome.
I forgot you had it.
I want to see the stack
I
of
did
lights.
too. I did too. Well, the trailer. This is the time of year where the camper. Yeah, the camper. No, well, that's all of the lights go into the camper. It's the only place that I have to store them. I need to get a deadly serious. I can't put them in the garage. I can't fit them in the. I could put them in the trailer, but I cleaned out a bunch of crap from. God, I think it was the garage. I was trying to work on creating some more space in the garage. So I took some crap out of there. I took some crap out of the shed and I put it in the trailer with every intention of going to the dump. And then I forgot to go. So when I go out to the trailer, because dad needed the 8-foot table for the hometown holiday thing that he was doing, he's like, hey, can I use that table? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll go pull it out for you. I opened the door and died buried. Because it's all the way in the back of the trailer behind 400 pounds of crap that I can't walk through to pull the table out. But I got it, damn it.
That's my trailer right now.
Should have had a second story to the garage.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be too hard.
I wouldn't know where to start. I'll settle for a shed.
I'll settle for a shed.
Settle for a shed first. We'll do that one.
Yeah,
and
then we'll make this heated.
We'll talk about the garage.
2-car garage with the carport.
This is like, all right, I'll get some buddies out there, but then it's free music.
Yeah.
Hours for hours.
Yeah, right. If you need me, you know where I'll be. He's in the studio. He's hard at work. Don't bother him.
He's making our tracks. Just keep working.
Yeah.
He has till I get this wall done to finish it.
I really wouldn't do that hard. Imagine having your garage downstairs on top of your garage as well. That much storage.
I don't think there's not basement under the garage though.
Don't need it. I'm talking about building a second story to just your garage.
Well, I don't think zoning would allow for that.
You got 2 stories be on the other side of the street.
I don't think so. They're all 1-stories with basements in that subdivision.
What, the one right across the street from you doesn't have 2 stories?
No, that's not 2 stories.
Is it a raised ranch? I swear.
It's not a tri-level or a bi-level, or all those houses are 1 stories with basements. A lot, like the vast majority of them are actually ranches and don't even have basements.
Oh man, I could have sworn the one across the street was taller. Okay.
There's neighboring subdivisions that have 2 stories, but neither here nor there. I do not own one. I would like to get this house paid off and then just have more money.
It wouldn't be that much to do it.
I'm going to Dave Ramsey the shit out of this thing.
Maybe 15 grand material.
50, all right. Well, I'll see you after I pay the house off. We'll talk about it.
How much you think a shed costs, man?
a shed? Well, in lumber now, probably
15,000.
15,000. But so you got to work with me here in the realm of like realism. In the city of Riverside, there ain't no way that they're going to allow me to put a 2-story. They won't let me park in front of my own damn house anymore.
We'll just make it look like it's a really big roof peak.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just
Mr. Demechek, it says here that you want to build a cathedral ceiling in your garage. Yes. And then we'll have you walk into the room and you'll have like one of those artist hats on and a really tight outfit with horizontal stripes. And I'll call you Alfredo, my architect.
No. It's
and then you can walk up to their mic and you can tell them exactly why we need this cathedral ceiling.
You don't understand. I paint a ceiling.
I am an artist.
Stupid.
I needed to build it.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Okay. Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it.
Please stop.
I'm done. I'm done. Join us next week for the live show. It's going to be great.
Be there. Be square.